What's going on, fellow farm sim junkies? DoctorDDub here, and today we're taking a look at Sunnyside, a JRPG farm/life sim inspired by the likes of Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley. And I know what you're thinking, what farm sim these days isn't inspired by one of those two giants in the genre? Well, you're right, but they also claim to take inspiration from Persona for their characters and social system, and the part that really sets them apart is that it has the potential for co-op. Yeah, I'm excited too. We'll talk more about that later though. If anything in this video catches your eye or ear, Sunnyside is currently on Kickstarter and is in the middle of their campaign right now, which runs till February 5th, 2021 at 10:58 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's oddly specific, I know. I'll have it linked in the description if you want to go check it out for yourself, but without further ado, let's geek out a little bit and talk about what's up in Sunnyside. Or, if you're hungry, like I am right now, what's Sunnyside up? That's an egg joke, by the way, and not a good one. Let's get cracking. In Sunnyside, you'll be able to do all of the standard fares of farming sim that we all know and love. Farming, fishing, mining, socializing with, and potentially marrying NPCs, cooking, crafting, looking after animals, foraging, decorating your home, etc. It's a farming sim. You guys get the idea. What I want to highlight though with this video is what is a bit more unique in each of those areas, starting with farming. In Sunnyside, there will be roughly 10 crops per season, each requiring specific tools and other requirements such as soil type to be able to plant and harvest them. Other plantable things include flowers, trees, and forageable seeds, some of which can only be found through exploration, not purchased at a store. If farming is your jam, you can even buy additional plots of land to expand your farming empire if you'd like. And speaking of jam, you can count on being able to process all of those crops into artisan goods, such as jam, using machines like canners, bean roasters, grain mills, wine barrels, and much more. Now, you may be asking yourself, how many jam references can he jam in here? Well, quite a few to answer that question, and I promise this will be the last one, but it can also probably be used in the kitchen while you're, cooking. Speaking of cooking, the quality of crops used to cook will have a direct impact on the quality of the food cooked. Looking at you, Stardew Valley. And some of the ingredients used for cooking will only be available by growing them yourself, which I think is a cool touch. Food will also have a shelf life, which some will love, myself included, while others maybe not so much, depending on how this mechanic is actually implemented. As the devs put it themselves, you cannot cook 64 plates of spaghetti and keep it in a chest for a month. As tempting as that sounds, you will need a refrigerator to keep any food item fresh and long-lasting. Now, maybe that means food will last forever, but only if stored in a refrigerator, or maybe it doesn't mean that at all. We'll just have to wait and find out, I guess. And lastly, for those looking for a reason to cook, there will also be multiple cooking competitions throughout the year. Now, let's talk animals, which I can already tell you are pretty dang adorable. As far as animals are concerned in Sunnyside, there are 3 types: farm animals, pets, and wild animals. Farm animals will include alpacas, sheep, cows, pigs, goats, chickens, and ducks, at least as of now. I'd expect them to be taken care of and behave similarly to how they do in almost any other farm sim. Feed them, talk to them, and brush them if applicable every single day, and they'll grow to love you and produce better products as a result. You guys know how it works. And just like with crops, there will also be machines such as milk pasteurizers, cheese kettles, and yogurt makers to further refine your animal's products. Oh, and for those of you that really love your farm animals, there will be no limit to how many barns and coops can be built on your farm. Have fun with that. As for pets, those will include dogs, cats, horses, and owls. And if the addition of owls as pets doesn't set Sunnyside apart enough, you will not be restricted to owning just one pet at a time, nor are they there just to look cute and get pet, as their name might suggest. Some of them can be taught to help out around the farm, and the example that was used was that you can actually train your dog to feed your chickens every morning. This is something I would love to learn way more about. The last of the animals are the wild animals, which you'll find when exploring the huge open world of Sunnyside, which is apparently more than 2,000 square meters, whatever that translates to in video game size. I don't really know. These currently include foxes, wolves, rabbits, squirrels, bears, and raccoons, some of which can be befriended in return for some rare items, presumably scavenged ones or foraged goods of some sort. I'm not sure. Speaking of rare items, though, you're going to need plenty of those rare items. Maybe not those specifically, but rare items in general, to be able to craft everything in the game. The devs are striving to create an extensive crafting system within Sunnyside, comparing their crafting system, or at least their ideal, desired one, to that of Minecraft or Animal Crossing, both games having pretty impressive and robust crafting systems. To get some of these resources that you'll need for crafting, though, you likely need to visit the mines to mine for ores and rare gemstones. But to complicate things a bit, and to offer a little bit of a challenge, there are plans to add a combat system into the game, meaning you can expect to run into some baddies that need a little bit of a whooping while you're down there in the mines. As for weapons, as of now, we'll have access to swords, axes, bows, and magical weapons with which to do combat, which confirms, at least to me, the presence of magic in the world of Sunnyside. How prevalent magic is, though, has yet to be seen. There will even be bosses within the mines. Not many details were provided on that, but I'll definitely try to learn more if I can. The combat system is also described as relatively basic, but hard to master, which I am a huge fan of personally. It's easy enough for the casual player to do combat without causing too much frustration, but it's also a nice challenge for those that want to dive a little bit deeper into combat. And on the note of diving deep, to continue with our horrible segues, let's dive deep into the social aspect of the game and talk about some of the NPCs. In the world of Sunnyside, we can expect to find 32 NPCs present upon release, with more planned as free content updates post-release, depending on the funding of the game. All of them will have their own quest line as well, not just the marriage candidates. Some can even accompany you in the mines to help with the previously mentioned boss battles once you're good enough friends with them, while others might just send you crafting or cooking recipes. One aspect, though, about the social system that I really like is the presence of a cell phone. Thank you. A farming sim that has a bit of a modern twist. Finally. Not only will NPCs have schedules that vary by season, weather, and whatever sort of events are going on, like you'd kind of expect, but they can also text or call you and invite you to hang out with them, or if they have a friend group, they might invite you to hang out with their friend group as well. How cool is that? Marriage is also going to be an option, as it is in any good farm sim, and Sunnyside seems to be trying to appeal to as many individuals as possible by representing the LGBTQ community in some of the characters in-game, each with their own preferences. They state, this way you can just be yourself while playing the game, which I think is a really nice approach to take. Now, whether you're super into the marriage candidates or not, one thing is certain, Sunnyside has weather and seasons, and they look really nice. Spring, summer, fall, and winter, as you'd expect, along with rain, snow, wind, blizzards, thunder and lightning, and more, I'm sure, or at least I hope. I'm a sucker for good weather effects, if I'm being honest. It just helps set the mood so well and create an atmosphere that nothing else quite can. I'm excited, clearly, and I want more. Oh, and don't think I forgot about co-op. It's something the devs want to add to the game, but it will only be added if a stretch goal is met as part of their Kickstarter campaign. Don't let that discourage you, though. I've seen some Kickstarter campaigns in the past where the funding goal is like $40,000, but for multiplayer, the stretch goal is upwards of $400,000 US or something equally as crazy. For Sunnyside, the goal is much more manageable, at least in my opinion. At the time of recording this video, they're already more than 50% of the way to meeting their funding goal and about 25% of the way to meeting the co-op stretch goal. So head on over and back the game if you're able, and would love to see co-op in Sunnyside. I know I would. Once again, link is in the description. I'll also throw a link down there to their Discord server if that's something you'd like to be a part of. And lastly, to wrap things up, some real sexy housekeeping items. Everyone's favorite, I know. First, to get the most popular question out of the way that is asked anytime any new game is developed, will this game be coming to the Switch? To which the answer is a hopeful yes. That is the plan. The game is scheduled for a full release on PC somewhere in Q1 of 2022, with console releases, including the Switch, in the following quarter, so Q2 of 2022. An early access build will be available on PC only in the fall of 2021, so later this year, for those that back the Kickstarter at a tier, obviously, that includes early access. Oh, and because I couldn't fit this anywhere else in the video, speaking of their Kickstarter campaign, there's also a Kickstarter reward that mentions there will be a museum in the game. So, for those of you that love to collect things or hoard things, yeah, that's for you. Now, for those of you that made it to the end of this video, I'm making this only hours after first hearing about the game because I think it looks amazing and is something I think that you guys might enjoy. If that is indeed the case and you'd like to see more on this game as it gets closer to release and goes through development, let me know by leaving a like on the video and asking any questions you might have about Sunnyside. I'll do my best to see if I can get them answered for you and scour the internet for everything I can on Sunnyside to make videos with and give my fellow farm sim addicts something to chew on. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed and will consider supporting Sunnyside however you can. It definitely looks like it's going to be something I, and hopefully you, will enjoy very much. And if people wanted to see more on the game, you can bet I'll be covering it in more depth on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I will see you next time. Until then, though, as always, take care.